Hello everyone and welcome back to GreedFall. Happy to see that you guys are enjoying the series so far. First videos went up yesterday. This is the first time I've had the opportunity to record since.
You're back. Can I pour you something this time?
Yeah, still no drinking. Let's ask about the
I'm
kidnapping.
looking for a Nort, a young cabin boy who's been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Nort, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping? In my establishment? You shouldn't jest. Well, at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
I
Nope.
need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
This guy's probably kind of tired of us, bugging him for info. Also, he's not in a chair. Just throwing that out there.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No. Have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I am here. I'm looking for a Nort that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in, with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. Needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, sir. You are in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Theleme embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?
Fair point. But yeah, first time I've been able to record since I uploaded. So happy to hear that you guys are enjoying the content so far. I've been having a good time with this game. Little disappointed that we haven't reached this island we've heard so much about just yet because of all these little side quests, but hey, that's the way it goes.
Might I help you, sir?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
He is absent, but the lady of the house could certainly receive you. Enter, please.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lord de Sade. And to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We're looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
I'm
Makes
very
sense.
surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it's their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
What was your son doing on a Naut ship? Why would they have taken him?
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, they steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things. But it is true that you are young and inexperienced. It seems that you have
Wow,
been
rude.
protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through. But I will not say another word. You will have no trouble verifying the details now that you know what to look for.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Nauts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact. It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Nauts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Well, that's not the right direction. I've done that so many times. These little side quests are always a little more complicated than you would think that they would be, which is a good thing. Honestly, I'm kind of curious about doing the one for the guy from the Ptolemy embassy, because it sounds kind of suspicious, not gonna lie. And I don't trust that guy right off the rip, so I'm kind of curious to see exactly what's going on with it. Just throwing it out there.
So,
Are you ready? Can we weigh anchor?
we should be able to set sail with the tide, as agreed upon. I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the oceans. Our ships can sail where no others dare.
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard. How do you become a Naut?
Our magic, yes, that only the Nords master. As for your question, any child born on one of our ships is seaborn. He is a Nort from birth. Others are sea-gifted, joining the Nords for different reasons, often from a young age. It's how the guild is made and maintains its numbers.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking? Maybe clandestine passengers?
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them.
Just noticed I'm wearing the exact same
Smuggler just a while ago.
armor as this guy.
Smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. May I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
Nothing to bother yourself about. I'm just curious.
You wouldn't, by the sheerest of coincidences, be on the trail of a couple of heretics, Your Excellency. The same a couple of the ambassadors of Ptolemy's men have been looking for nigh on 2 days.
And so you know about that?
Of course. The Cardinal's henchmen are hard to miss, even in a crowd. And they were making quite a fuss, hoping we would cave in and help them in their hunt. Feel free to carry out your own investigation, but you'll end up with the same answers. The port brigs, just like the warehouses, are property of the Nauts. No one else may enter.
Yeah, except I've got the exact same armor as you, so they'll just let me in because they're dumb.
I suppose spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nords, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Nord. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
What do you think of our port?
Are you referring to this one? It is the biggest high seas port on the continent. Thanks to your prince, even though it remains part of your city, it holds a particular status for us Nords. Certain zones are owned completely by us, and maritime law holds office. It's a good port. Were it not for the Malachor, it would be a pleasant place to dock.
Could you tell me anything about our destination? The island of Teofredi?
It is a magnificent place. Wild. Spared from your wars and your mines for now. The natives have a relationship with their land and consider it sacred. They're a very friendly people, welcoming. That will appear to you strangely familiar. I've also heard that there are a great many exotic creatures, some enormous. But I wouldn't know what else to tell you. I've never strayed far from the ports.
Be back soon, Captain.
We need to have a word with that people smuggler the sailor mentioned.
He's a captain, Kurt, like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.
Fairly certain I can already get my way in there because I'm thinking I already have the key as well. Wrong button. Inventory. Where's the inventory? There we are. Key to the jail cells. There we are. There he is.
Your Highness, I'm happy to see you. Your absence this morning worried both your father and me.
Come now, Sir de Corsilium. My father may have been angry, outraged, or disappointed, but he's never worried about me. I am sad to have caused you any worry, though. Would you believe that I was rotting away in a sinister jail, guarded by thugs ready to kill me? Though still seeing double from last night's drink, I was preparing an ingenious escape plan when, ta-da! My dear cousin jumped up out of nowhere and saved me. I'm quite the fairy tale damsel in distress.
You might have refrained from the company of bandits the night before such an important departure.
Take away the risk and halve the pleasure, de Corsilium. It is the salt of life.
I fear that some of my teachings have been misunderstood. But you wanted to ask me something, de Sade?
The banter.
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child due to some contract with the Nords.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there's always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nords. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son because of some agreement signed between my uncle and the Nords?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nords as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides. For ugly, that is ugly.
Lady Fontaine didn't seem to have any knowledge of that detail. That could be of use to us.
Alright, let's find where this guy is. Go talk to the wife yet again. Or just pick up whatever this is. The warehouse is on the canal.
This document mentions another property. A warehouse.
That would be a great place to hide. Shall we take a peek?
Anything up here I can take with me? Do you have any more dialogue
Excuse
for me?
Madam, but I haven't quite finished my inquiry yet.
If you would be so courteous, I would like you to leave. I have told you all that I have to say.
With respect, my lady.
Well. That's interesting, they have a little globe. And a bonsai tree. So this is one big landmass, apparently, even though we know that there's an island. You need to update your globe, just throwing that out there. Still, I do have to say that it's pretty interesting, because in most games where it's got its own unique world, you always see maps. Maps are everywhere, but you never see a globe. So that's kind of cool. It caught my attention, because I can honestly say I don't think I've ever seen a globe in a game. Like, I can't think of one. Let's go in through the other entrance, because apparently there is a back door. And that would be a smarter way to go, in my opinion.
Here we are. Be careful. Fontaine won't be alone. He'll have his henchmen with him.
A handful of underlings don't scare us away. Right, cousin?
And death to the others!
Alright, well, we got officer's armor, so we should probably consider... No, we didn't get it for everything, though. Slightly better defense there. Definitely gonna go for those. Oop. Come on, camera, don't get stuck on me like that. Let's not go this direction.
So it's here that our man keeps his soul. Abusive fathers.
Ah, lockpicking.
Locked. I don't have the key. It's not possible just now.
Hmm. Well, it's unfortunate that we don't have what we need to just get in there. Because we have this. I mean, maybe we can use it despite... No, I was trying to run. Why'd you do that to me, game?
It's not
Okay,
possible just
so dropped items cannot be picked up. That's a shame. Because that was the item we needed, actually. Just couldn't use it because science is only level 0. Bit of a shame, to be honest, because that would have been very helpful. So I guess we'll just fight our way through.
To me, gods! Take no prisoners! To my help! Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Well, that's a bit of a shame that we had to kill the dad, but hey, it's just the way it goes. Where does this take us? Probably the front door. Let's see what's up on the top floor. I've got a feeling there's probably some good loot. Or just a bunch of stuff we can't do anything with. That's a bit of a shame too. Well, let's get the sun. It's a shame that it had to be this way.
Locked.
Who are you?
My name is Desade. I am legate of the congregation. Your captain has sent me to find you.
Were you able to convince my father to allow me to go free?
I'm extremely sorry to have to tell you this, Jonas. He preferred to fight to the death rather than allow you to leave. He left me no choice.
How tragic. The poor man. What madness overcame him? And the woman, my mother. She'll be all alone now.
You don't seem to be all that close to your parents.
I hadn't seen them since I was 5 years old. I barely remember them. They find me, capture me, and lock me up in this warehouse. Hard to grow close after all that. My family is the Naughts. I am sorry for my parents, but that is the way of it now. Can I go home?
Yes. You should still go and say farewell to your mother. Then find your way to the ship. I'll see you there.
Yeah, there's a lot of loot that we just, unfortunately, were forced to leave behind because of our stat choices. No lockpicking, no explosives, no fun stuff like that. I'm looking forward to the point when we can diversify our stats. I'm sure that'll happen once we reach the island, but in the meantime, let's go tell the captain. I'm finally getting I'm getting the hang of finding my way around the city. Of course, right when we're getting ready to leave it, but hey, better late than never.
Can we weigh anchor?
Oh my god, do you have to say it every time?
My cabin boy, Jonas, is back on ship. I have you to thank, I imagine.
You do. It's a rather sad affair, and though solved, leaves a broken family behind.
All we can do is plot a course. No one tells the wind what to do. I do thank you. I didn't think you'd go to so much trouble for a cabin boy. Your actions bring you honor.
Good. That's worthwhile.
Be back soon, Captain.
So we got a skill point and an attribute point. So you know what? Let's do what I was just saying and diversify a little bit. Because, yeah, we could, you know, do more stuff. Why is it showing vigor level 2? Do we have level 1? I guess we did go for vigor. Ah, yes, because it lets you recover health and magic outside combat. That's right. Oh, but those are talents. So you could probably get talent points as well. So we have an attribute point and skill point. stasis lasts longer. We can do more damage. We can do more damage, or we can add traps and firearms, which we're not going to bother with. So, what do we want? Damage or effect duration. %10 more damage means we kill enemies 10% faster. Keep going through the menu system wrong. So we could gain even more damage and fury generation. But let's read the other ones. So strength is increasing the power of all melee attacks. So that's required to wield the best one-handed and two-handed blunt weapons. Agility, which we don't have at all, is for the best one-handed and two-handed swords. So how many magic points do I have currently? That's a question worth asking. 500. So that's actually decently significant to go and invest into willpower. Because when you get towards the end of it, you end up doubling the number of magic points you have total, which is kind of nice. And we could do 10% more damage here already, but I don't want to do that. I think we should probably go for the agility level, because that'll give us more options as far as weaponry is concerned. For example, if I'm not mistaken, that means we'll now be able to actually use the old rusty rapier. It does less damage, but it's worth at least being able to have the option, you know? Oh, we probably can, you have that. And those. Still a good hat for him. Yeah, good enough. I suppose that's where we should end things this time around. So, I mentioned it briefly earlier on, but let's interrogate the smuggler. We're gonna figure out about these heretics and see exactly what's going on with them, because I don't trust that guy. I don't trust him. So I think there's more to the story here. I want to see it, and I am certain this has to be the last thing before we go to the island. So let's just do it. Why not? What'll it hurt? Either way, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you all for stopping by, and I'll see you guys next time.